Our inspirational reading this morning comes from 365 Science of Mind.
Yay,
And
Ernie.
Ernie, our very favorite person, Ernest Holmes. Good old Ernie. And this is one entitled, God Within Me Strengthens Me. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will strengthen thee, I will hold thee. I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy right hand. When we turn from all beliefs and separateness, we will find the indwelling Spirit. When we have dismissed all fear, when we know that God is love, when we have turned away from every sense of weakness, we know that God is strength. This thought fills me and confides with this thought fills me with confidence and courage. Resting securely in this knowledge, I am renewed, guided, and led step by step by the power of the ever-present love. Today I permit divine spirit to flow through me, rejoicing in his presence. I am free from fear. I live in perfect faith. There is but one power and one presence in the universe, which is God, the living Spirit Almighty. Disregarding any appearance that seems to contradict this divine fact, I press forward with certain knowledge that I am forever one with the invisible presence that is able, ready, and willing to direct my ways. I know that her ways are the ways of blessedness, and all her paths are peace. Today I walk in these ways of pleasantness, and no wind can blow my bark away astray. There is a divine authority at the center of my being that announces itself in every act. I have implicit confidence in the invisible part of me, which is my share in the God nature, my partnership in the infinite, my oneness with all that is. Today I accept my good. Today I bless that good and cause it to multiply in my experience. Today I shall not fear or doubt. God within me strengthens me. So thank you, wonderful God. Thank you, Ernie. Our speaker today is a lady who has a great knowledge. She's a beautiful lady. She has, she's just a delight to be around. She's filled with love, filled with light, filled with joy. And she's going to speak to us today on Let Us Rise. Please help me welcome Reverend Brigitte Heimers. Yes, it is.
Good morning.
Good
Good morning.
I changed my title just a little bit to say, Let us rise with Christ's joy.
Oh, that's even okay.
So let me begin with a quote from my favorite pink book. You know, these are channeled messages, as you know, from the present Jesus. And on page 25, 26, he tells us, I quote, Joy begins in the heart of each person. Joy comes when you find in your center the spot which is divine, when you are one with all. Your knowing, your oneness with God gives you dominion. You rule your own world, and assurance of this brings joy, serenity, peace, and love to your heart. As each one finds this joy, the world will be filled with joy, and joy will be in the hearts of all. And this Easter month, let us arise with Christ's joy. As we know from experience, the expression of joy is often contagious. A genuine smile or an honest burst of laughter can inspire joy within the hearts of everyone who is around us. Joy is one of the great rewards of the connection we have with our God self, with others, and with all life. So as we give in joy, we receive joyously. When we share a tender moment with another person, or watch an inspiring movie, or simply think about people we love, we can feel the joy arising from deep within our heart center. As a result, we feel a warmth that gives us a wonderful lifting. As we are rising with Christ's joy this Easter month, let's make joy our way of life. When we awaken in the morning, in the first few moments of awareness, we can choose joy. The source of joy lies within our understanding that God and we are one. So deep within us are not only the seeds of joy, but also the seeds of love, of peace and happiness, waiting to be nurtured and to blossom. So our emotions and perceptions are like seeds in the garden of our mind. And mindfulness is like cool water. When we water the seeds of love, the seeds of joy and peace in ourselves, they will grow and flower without struggle or effort. This is one of the simplest and most wonderful of miracles. I experienced this miracle a lot yesterday when I was on the phone with my family and friends and sharing the Easter vibration. They are already looking forward to Easter, that is very special in Germany as well. So also when we joyfully turn within, we discover the great joy of God's gentle presence and the simple pleasure of being one with God. My time in meditation or in the silence of prayer brings me a sense of soul satisfaction, and I can feel the joy welling up within me. And when I return to the world around me, I feel my joy radiating, which in turn fills my whole house with this wonderful vibration. I discovered this Easter month anew that gratitude also cultivates joy. As we give thanks for the blessings in our life and appreciate each person and each animal who is sharing this journey with us, we can acknowledge our experience with a calm assurance that life is good and joy is the only power, as we sing here at TIC on Sundays and after class we attend. So something else helps us arise with Christ's joy. Positive actions. They evoke joy. Being friendly and encouraging toward others is one way we nurture the joy within us. When I was teaching German at the University of San Diego, I especially remember my straight beginners class at a new semester. Needless to say, I used a lot of friendliness and encouragement to help my students learn their lessons and have fun during class, so that they leave at the end of the class with inner joy and a sense of accomplishment. College students in general have more inhibitions when they start speaking and writing a brand new language for the first time in their life. Another point, sensory experience can remind us of the joy of being alive. As we cook dinner, we can enjoy the aroma of onions browning in the pan, vegetables simmering, or we can savor the fragrance from the flowers that are on the table. We can tune in to the joyful sounds of music. I usually listen to classical music on a CD, or I go to a concert or an opera here and there. And in Psalm 47:1 we read, quote, "Clap your hands, all you peoples, shout to God with loud songs of joy." I love this quote. So no matter what we are experiencing, when we take time to make contact with the Christ center within us, we feel joy. Christ within us is our spiritual foundation, our pattern of wholeness, our overflowing joy. This idea is expressed in another quote from Dawning of the Age of Light. As you know, The Dawning of the Age of Light is my favorite pink book. I quote frequently from it. And here on page 26, Jesus tells us, I find it quickly. Find joy in your heart so that you can express fully the Spirit within you. Spirit channels best through joy. Even reverence can be accompanied by joy. Remember that seriousness is not piousness. Love determines the depth with which you express Spirit. And love and joy begin within yourself. So find love and joy in expressing your identity. Let joy light up your experience and feel the lifting as you give them over to your wise God self. We who are many surround you with our love and joy. End of quote. In other words, let's remember an affirmation we used here at the teaching. Remember that? Let go and let God. We say that frequently. And we know this power of God within us is constant and it is unchanging, so long as we cultivate trust and faith within us through joyful prayer. In everything we do, let us remember, joy is the only power. True joy is not something we acquire from outer events or things. It is something we release from within. So therefore, it is very important to trust our inner guidance. There was another wonderful passage in the Dawning of the Age of Light. Is on page 17 and 18. And Jesus says, trust is a precious and subtle element. Above all, trust yourself. For without trusting yourself, how can you trust another? You do trust yourself and you do trust God, or you would not even pray. So build this trust. Trust may be a new concept to you, Jesus says. Trust can lift you to new heights of consciousness if you put your faith in God. Let God guide you. Let God take over your life. Let God lift you into an expression which is uniquely yours. Let pure trust lift and guide you to new levels of light, for light is God. This will open a new awareness of your oneness with God. End of quote. So in the privacy of prayer, we cultivate God's power. We cultivate God's love and joy within us, as we open our innermost self to God and to all the divine help that is available to us through our inner Christ. During these quiet moments, we can release our concerns to God as though we are removing obstacles or weeds of negativity that may impede our growing love, our growing joy and faith and trust. So I have a few questions. Do you or someone you care about need better health? I suggest you sing a joyful song of life and let this song renew your power of love, your power of joy and faith in the presence of God, the presence within. This divine source of energy and vitality continually nourishes tissues, strengthens cells, and promotes the healing process. Another question. Are we uncertain about a decision we face or a solution to a problem? Let us allow a joyful song of light to shine in our heart and mind. So as we do, we are affirming our love, we are affirming our joy and faith in our one true guide, our inner Christ, God within. Divine wisdom will counsel us. Divine wisdom will illumine the right path to take and reveal right answers. Have finances become a concern? So I suggest let us sing a joyful song of love for God and of praise for the blessings we already have. Our song is a song of joy, is a song of love and faith, and that will open our life to new expressions of God's abundance. Have you ever experienced that? Mm-hmm. It is just like magic if we do that. So let us lift our joyful song to God and be ready to receive ideas that will help us use divine supply in beneficial ways. Remember too, to sing a joyful song of peace, especially at this present time where millions of people are longing for peace. A song of peace will keep our faith strong and joyfully soothe our heart during challenging times. And I'm sure each one of us has had challenging times or is going through some right now. We can breathe deeply as we relax and let the melody of joy, of love and faith soar throughout our entire being, because the power of God, the power of love and joy is the basis for everything we do. Indeed, joy is the only power. Joy, the word alone brings a smile to my face when I talk about joy. By embracing joy, we can shift our thinking, our mood, and our life. Even when we are feeling sad, we can turn to the Spirit within us and find our joy, which is stronger and more powerful than any other thought of sadness. So joy is transformative as we allow it free and full expression through our thoughts and words and actions. So joy fills my heart as I hold the hand of a loved one in need, seeing past human flaws and frailties. I always try to behold their true essence. Our connection is life-affirming and joy-filled. So in conclusion, I hope I have convinced you that rising with Christ's joy every day creates a fulfilled life for us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Brigitte, for that very inspiring talk. We really appreciate that.